A lot older than Justin, and I did drop out of business school. I actually finished it. But this is Story is my sixth company. The last five I go back to the early 90s. My first three were in the internet space, dating pre-Netscape. So did an application server company. We were bought by Netscape. After that, a company called Cloud was turned into Opsware, so that was in data center automation. And over the last several years, I've been in the big data space. Actually started in big data with working with Cloudera, very, very early days when the team was first put together, and then was at a company called Astrodata that developed a big data platform that was acquired by Teradata last little over a year and a half ago. And how we arrived at Clear Story is basically the problem that we saw at Astrodata, which is a lot of companies were trying to bring data together from many different sources, both private and external sources, and was struggling with how to actually converge data and how to run an analysis in a very intuitive way. Most of the tools that you picked up, off-the-shelf BI tools would grind to a halt as you put it over large volumes of data, and weren't designed for unstructured data types as well. So that's basically what led to the birth of Clear Story, is seeing the problem from back then. And really what we see today is, I think, a pretty dramatic shift in how people are thinking about data analysis moving forward, which is great to see. So I've actually been in the big data space now since very, very early Hadoop days, and it's been pretty fantastic to see the sort of change in people's thinking over the last 5 years. So we think this is just the beginning. We hope to see a lot of companies continue to push forward in how they think about this problem and embrace it. So here I am doing number 6, and it's been a fun ride so far.
I wasn't smart enough to get into business school, so you were definitely up on me. So Simple Reach is actually my first real attempt at a business. I guess, like most people, I tried consulting and thought that was a business, but I guess you kind of have to have minds for that to turn into a business, which I'm sure business school would have told me. But I found I was actually it started as at a founder dating type thing, where my co-founder Ed Kim was talking about preaching about content marketing and how he thought that this was really going to be like the next evolution in ad tech, in advertising technology. And I thought he was right, but I had no idea how. So we chatted a bit, we got together, and we decided to give it a go. We started out by building an ad server for what's called real-time bidding, and this was about 2.5 years ago, right when real-time bidding was starting to really come into its own and start to take on a real good sizable share of the market. And when we found out that there were a lot of people ahead of us with a lot smarter teams, we decided we should probably start looking elsewhere. And we moved into using that same sort of technology to recommend ads, to recommend social ads. And then we moved from social ads into content. And we knew that there was something there in the content marketing, content advertising space. And it took us a little while to sort of come around to it. And the rest of that journey was where we took those social ads and said, here, we've got an algorithm. We built this great algorithm for content recommendation and for ad recommendation. And we based it on a whole bunch of factors like behavior and social media. And what we found is we kept getting asked the same question. How are you guys doing that social thing? We kept saying, well, you guys don't know? And nobody knew. So we said, well, let's show you. And that's how we did it. We just started showing people things that they didn't have access to. And what we found was that there's a lot of social media data that requires not only ingestion and cleaning, but also analysis and display. And that sort of led us into this space where we were looking at small amounts of advertising and content into larger amounts of advertising and content, and even much larger amounts of social data behind that. So that's how Simple Reach was started.